Hello and welcome viewers, you're watching Eye on Port, where we bring Ghana's ports and maritime industry closer to you. It is proudly brought to you by Ghana Revenue Authority, Goyle PLC, Serene Insurance, Ghana Link, Meridian Port Services, and Phoenix Insurance. This program is powered by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, and our media partner is the Business and Financial Times. Viewers, this week we discussed how to build organizational supply chain resilience. This is a very crucial topic considering the recent disruptions to supply chains in our international shipping subsector. We did this with the help of fellows of the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport Ghana, Patrick Ando and Ephraim Masari. Take a listen.
What are some of the things that companies should be doing in terms of their quest to, remain resilient or to become resilient?
Okay. When you pick any typical supply chain, you look at the end-to-end. So we have what is called, for the sake of our viewers, we try to come down for them to really understand.
Absolutely.
You look at the upstream, products or raw materials or supply, which is coming from the top.
Right.
Then it comes into the company. The company turns it around, becomes a product. And finally, the product is now given to a distributor or a transporter. Then it gets to the end user or the consumer. So supply chain mindset looks at the end-to-end, right from the source to the final delivery. That's how we've been trained to look at things.
Right.
Now, when you look at the end-to-end, three key things comes out to be the main drivers for cost.
Right.
One becomes transportation. And when we talk about transportation in this concept, we are not just talking about necessarily a road transportation. Some could choose to just go by rail. Some could choose to just go by air. Could choose to go by sea. So that is the context that we are looking at. So you look at the context, transportation becomes one of the highest costs within there. Then when you take, the next also becomes warehousing. So assuming you want to now beat down cost, so you want to bring in more goods. But when you bring in those more goods or more consignment or more products, where are you going to now store them? And that becomes the warehousing. It's also a very huge area within the supply chain that also has a huge. And last but not the least, becomes inventory. So we have transportation, warehousing, and inventory. Of course, there are other functions within the supply chain. You could look at packaging, you could look at consolidation, you can look at break bulk. All this material handling, all this become part and parcel. But in the supply chain manager's table, these three key things are what he almost always look out for.
Right.
How best do I cut down my transportation costs? Can I do a situation whereby, could I do a situation whereby I give these goods to come by air because of how premium it is? Or should I think that I should rather find a way? So he always almost look at how to cut down transportation cost. Then the next also become warehousing. Does it go by a system whereby become centralized warehousing? Everything is kept in one place. Or he should decentralize. He divide the entire country into two. For example, he just make sure that the northern sector have their consignment or goods in Kumasi and the southern sector somewhere in Accra or Tema. So you always do that, or you should go by hybrid. A little in-house, a little, being outsourced. Then last but not the least, the inventory, which is money. Because the more goods that you keep in your warehouse, and it means that you are simply keeping money, which is in the form of a stock. So the supply chain manager almost have this one in mind. But for those organizations that make the best out of supply chain and its functions, are organizations that bring supply chain into the C-suite. Right. In other words, they bring supply chain functions and its deliberations into the boardroom. If you leave supply chain at the functional, at the tactical level, as a director, you won't get much from them. If you leave supply chain activities and functions at the operational level, you won't get much. It is when supply chain issues and functions are brought into the boardroom, that is where some of these things can come out. Then strategically, you can also plan for. Then I come to your resilience. For the sake of our viewers, let's break down some of the terms for them to really understand. When we say supply chain resilience, what simply means is, what can you do to ensure that what can you do as for you to come back or bounce back in the face of adversity, in the face of a trouble. And that's simply what we mean by supply chain resilience. So there's a challenge, there's a disruption. What can you do to ensure that you come back quickly and serve your client and provide satisfaction for them? There are things that we do as professionals within the system.
Yes.
First and foremost, one of the key things we have to do as professionals, be it at the national level, be it at the corporate level, is what I sometimes I call them 3M. First and foremost, you have to make sure that the first M is map out all your suppliers.
Yes.
So throughout the globe, know those who have the strength to produce in times of emergency. Know those that you can rely on to give you your raw material to produce. So map them out.
Right.
What sometimes happens is supply chain is both art and science. Many organizations practice supply chain and they are just doing the arts. But the moment you bring the science in, that's where the mapping then comes in. So the organization, they may not have people who have what it takes to deliver.
Yeah.
And my encouragement and my advice to them is they should find the right people with the technical know-how to help them to get a job done.
Yeah.
When this mapping goes on, you have not finished your job. The next one is also make sure that you continually monitor. So you have a base in China, you have another base in Germany, you have another base, let's say, in Kenya. You must have a team of personnel, and their job is almost every day, they are monitoring what is happening within the chain. Is there any breakage in the chain? Can we rely on the next supplier to make sure that he meets the demand? And the last but not the least, within the 3M, become to measure.
Right.
So we map out. We don't just finish by mapping out. We monitor what is going on. Then we continually measure. You know, traditional organizations try to measure their supply chain indicators by every quarter.
Right.
But in these times of disruption, you move from quarter to weeks. So every week, what is happening? Am I getting my goods? And if the goods are not arriving, what is the next thing I'm supposed to do?
Yeah.
So you look out for. Quite apart from that, one of the ways you can also build strong resilience within your supply chain, like Mr. Sari said, simply diversify your suppliers.
Yes.
Make sure that you don't rely on one supplier for all these years. And I think COVID taught us a very good lesson. You know, many multinationals across the globe, their major supplier was from China.
Yes.
And unfortunately, 3-4 years ago, the pandemic came.
Yes.
And many organizations had a serious challenges.
Right.
Because they couldn't get their supply again. So going forward, the strategy is now, don't try to just become mono in nature.
Yeah.
Diversify the suppliers.
Right.
Make sure that whatever you are producing, you have a secondary level product, primary level product, and know which countries, which organizations, which institutions, which areas can easily supply you those ones in there. And among all the strategy, what I love most is make sure that you build a strong collaboration with your partners.
Right.
The whole job that we do as supply chain is activities and function, and we interconnect. And the good news is the glue that interconnects all of them is information. So when information is out of the equation, we have failed. So going forward, to be strong, resilient within the supply chain, make sure that your supplier and your partner, you have a strong collaboration with them. Know what is going on. Know what is going on with their staff.
Right.
Know the challenges in their country. Is there any way you could go in? Because you need them.
Yes.
Yes. When you come to what we do, sometimes we say we have what is called backward integration.
Right.
You try to find a way in such a way that you can even supply, you can even develop your suppliers to meet a certain standard to continue to produce for you. So have a strong collaboration with them.
Let me come to Mr. Asari and find out from you how, what kind of strategies can be employed, so to speak, to mitigate disruptions in terms of natural disasters and perhaps supply insolvency.
In every crisis, sometimes there is an advantage for entrepreneurs who think ahead.
Right.
You see, right now, disruptions in the world's major trade routes. If you take the Panama Canal, vessels which want to access the western coast of the United States and Canada use the Panama Canal. But what is happening there? The water levels have dropped 10 feet. It means that spaces, a lot of vessels will go with empty space.
Right.
Because of draft issues, they cannot carry load to capacity. It means that supplies will be shortened.
Yes.
If you take the Suez Canal, Egypt is fighting hard to stop the disaster on the Red Sea. Yes. Because the revenue for the canal authorities has dropped 23%.
Yes.
That is huge.
Yes.
That is forcing vessels to use the southern tip of Africa. And somehow it is increasing our cargo throughput in West Africa, even Ghana.
Yes.
Now, we don't pray for the Houthis in Yemen to be posing danger to the Red Sea.
Yes.
But the crisis will solve. But if we up our game well, vessels will still use our ports.
Even after the crisis has been resolved.
Even after the crisis. We must look at the tariff regime as well and build resilience. What can we do to attract the vessels even after the crisis? This also leads to government policy. So you realize that supply chain actors and logistics experts cannot be acting in isolation. There must be regular brainstorming to ensure that agricultural products, there must be export. Vessels must discharge and load at any particular port.
Right.
If the crises are over in the Red Sea, water levels have increased in the Panama Canal, vessels will still find it useful and profitable to use our ports.
Right.
So this boils to the fact that there must always be that collaboration and coordination for stakeholders to brainstorm.
Yeah.
So that government policy also plays a role.
Yeah, absolutely.
Other than that, we will continue to be blaming nature, which is a feature of existence. We cannot avoid it.
Yeah.
We must find ways and means to do that. That is why I find this particular topic, supply chain and logistics, you can't decouple them.
Right.
It's so integrated and complex that players in this arena must always brainstorm and think together, do a lot of research, and make sure that they keep the industry. Africa has been left behind in the global trade. Meanwhile, if you look at the resources available, it's a matter of us committing to thinking properly and focusing on areas where we have control over.
Yes.
Most often, we look at outside where we don't have any control. But domestically, let's focus on areas where we can have control. I have said that cost element in all these transactions is key.
Absolutely.
If we realize that at a certain point in time, due to climate change, we are not getting the raw materials, few staff must work.
Absolutely.
So that you save money for the company.
Yeah.
Financial auditing is also important. So that you realize that this time, it is not degrees and papers that you have passed your interview and you are called a manager or that kind of thing. You really have to sit up and think and come along with the staff from top to bottom. You set targets, you break it down, everybody understands what they are doing, and then we monitor and evaluate.
Absolutely.
From time to time. He mentioned that if it is done quarterly, it should now be monthly, even weekly.
Okay.
So that everybody knows whether we are on track or not. Otherwise, you invest so much. Ghana,
you have little to show.
Yes, a lot of people have invested only for the business to crumble because we are not conscious of how to manage by using data and forecasting accurately. I think that this should be our next line of action.
Right.
So viewers, you just heard from our experts from CILT Ghana helping us appreciate the crucial role effective supply chain management will help us reduce and manage organizational risk and disruptions. Now let us hear from you on some comments you shared with us after we go on break, and then we'll be back with more news. Stay tuned.
Mark Azora from Accra says, given the evolving needs of Ghana's logistics infrastructure, what strategies are being implemented to enhance the efficiency of goods movement across the country, particularly in light of the growing demands on our ports and road networks? Hi, Mark. This response comes from our guest.
I think as logisticians and transporters, we are commanders of the 5 modes of transport.
Yes.
If it's not road, it must be the sea. If it's not the sea, by the air pipeline. But if you observe what we have in our country, there has been huge over-reliance on the road transport.
Right.
Where almost everything goes through the road. I think it's about time that we take bold leadership decision and look at how we can now break down this portfolio.
Yes.
Because if you have huge consignments which are heavy in nature, it's not ideal for you to carry those consignments by road. So I would just say that everything begins with leadership. And our leaders must be able to be bold, take drastic decisions, and see how we can now begin to give attention to other sectors, especially the rail.
Right.
I think over the decades, we are seeing bits and pieces of developing the railway sector. We must be more intentional.
Right.
Here's innovation from Goyle that takes you further. New Goyle Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex, and Goyle has innovated to stay ahead with expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New Goyle Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. Goyle. Good energy.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Yeah. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Business and life can be like the sea sometimes. Sometimes serene, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, and at times it brings the unexpected. However it is like, trust Phoenix Insurance for your home, car, business, and marine insurance needs. Call 0302 246 319 or 0243 690 492.
At Phoenix, you experience a delightful service delivered with wisdom.
Welcome back, viewers. So over the course of the week, so many exciting activities occurred within the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Let us take a look at those. A group of employees of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority at the Mechanical Engineering Department has successfully completed a 5-day course on automotive diagnostic systems to refine their know-how in the ever-evolving automotive sector. This has come in at a timely moment when the authority has in recent months procured and taken delivery of new machinery, most of which have automated components. According to management of the authority, this is a crucial step for the workforce deployed at the mechanical workshop to appropriately diagnose, repair, and provide strategic engineering solutions on the plethora port machinery and vehicles.
The mechanical team are going to benefit because currently the people we have, some of them came from the local learning artisans, they don't know technology, and then some also through their own knowledge, somebody would say talents, acquire this kind of mechanical job. So moving forward, the technology, the diagnostic course is going to help them, equip them, and also help them improve their work.
Those days, you will have to struggle with things to know really what the equipment is suffering from. But these days, with the diagnosis machines, it gives you, what do I say, you feed into the system and it will come up with all the challenges that the equipment has faced. And with that also, you can know faults that have been ignored over the period, which shouldn't have been. You rectify them and you get your equipment back.
Course facilitator and director of programs at the Institute of Automotive Engineering, Engineer Emmanuel Yevuga said, in addition to keeping the staff abreast with new technology, the training will go a long way to save time and reduce costs at the port.
The last topic we discussed had to do with electronic development. So we made them understand that they must not remain in their comfort zones, but they need to improve, read more, do more research because technologies are advancing. Yes, and true, very soon we might have a lot of electric vehicles flooding Ghana, and also maybe GPHA being an industry that will look at helping to reduce emissions in the country and the world at large. They will bring in equipment and vehicles that will be electric vehicles. So there, they will be able to know that they will have to improve, learn more, so that when such vehicles come, they'll be able to handle it very well.
The national service personnel taken in this year by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority have successfully completed this year's edition of the Inter-Departmental competition, demonstrating a commitment to the values of teamwork and continuous learning of yet another year group. During this year's competition, the national service personnel of the various departments gave presentations about the operations and dealings of their respective departments and how they tie into the authority's mandate of building, planning, controlling, and managing the seaports of Ghana. Following an exciting and educative turn of events, the Fire and Safety Department came out on top, with the Marine Department as first runner-up and the Electrical Engineering Department as the second runner-up.
It was a tough one. Days and days of putting ideas together. We had a lot of information that we wanted to share, but we had to work with the time as well. So how can you squeeze this information and still make it relevant? And so that was the most challenging part, but we were able to do that. We spent days, nights of practicing and just rehearsing and trying to get better.
Anytime we receive these national service personnel, we want to make an impact in their lives. We want them to take something away. So it's something that is part of our DNA, if I may put it that way, that we want to inculcate something vital and very informative to these kids, so that wherever they will go, they'll be able to demonstrate that at least they've handled something from the department.
The president of the National Service Personnel Association of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Derek Tumde, said, in addition to giving the personnel the opportunity to improve on their research and presentation skills, the event engendered team spirit unity, and fair competition among them.
It has been a great experience so far. Today, witnessing what happened, I enjoyed a lot. Even though I'm from IT, I got to know what HR does, what internal audit is all about, what Fishing Harbour is all about. This competition has been a great one. Just because I'm from IT doesn't mean I am supposed to know about only IT things. I got to know that, yes, Marine also talks about Beth, Steve Dorr, and others.
Judges of the competition, who happen to be management members of the authority, emphasized that this competition promotes practical understanding of port processes and should be encouraged.
Yes, the port enclave is a very technical area. You have a lot of disciplines around the port enclave. So for us, it's good and it's very impressive to see young ones who come to the port to at least come and understand some of the things that they see as vague when they hear outside, having experience with the port activities right down from quay all the way to the handling of cargo, which I think is a very good thing for the national service persons as they step out of GPHA.
As a national service person, it is for me a privilege to learn a lot. So what the young ones learned in school, various schools, various qualifications, certifications, when they come here, they appreciate what they learned, because here is a field. It's an industry, a unique industry that gives them the opportunity, the privilege to learn so much and to serve. The word is service. So when they come here, it's a privilege for them to learn and to serve. It empowers them for various careers hereafter.
This year's annual general meeting of the GPHA Senior Staff Retirees Association has been held in Tema, providing an opportunity to discuss the welfare of members in an official gathering. The day also served as an opportunity to call on non-members to voluntarily join the association, which serves as an extended avenue for retired GPHA senior officers to participate as stakeholders of the port community. The meeting was attended by current Director of Port, Sandro Opoku, and former Directors of Port, Jacob Adoko and Gordon Enim. Executives of the association praised top management of the authority, who continue to take keen interest in the affairs of the association.
We are expressing our profound gratitude to GPHA management for their immense support, both financially and materially, towards the welfare of all retired senior officers. We appreciate them very much and continually pray that God Almighty grant management and entire workforce vibrant, successful, and peaceful business and environment.
Takoradi Port continues to be open to us by allowing us to use their clubhouse facility for our monthly executive committee and general meetings without any let or hindrance. Whenever the place is unavailable, alternative venues are provided to us accordingly. The provision of office accommodation for us has progressed steadily, and we are confident that the remaining office appliances will be provided very soon.
Management has been very helpful to the association, but there are still outstanding issues pending before management that I wish to draw attention to. The first one is medical care for retired officers for life. Chairman, some measures have been taken or have been rolled out to ease the problem on retired officers who are 70 years and above, pending a permanent solution being worked out by management. We are very grateful for that.
The Director of Port, Tema, Sandro Opoku, reassured the Retirees Association of management's commitment to meeting their needs where possible.
Once again, so we'll do our best as management to listen to what you brought and to adjust to make sure that we give you what you want. You might not always get what you want.
Former directors of Port, Jacob Adoko and Gordon Enim, who have served in the past as patrons of the association, gave their remarks.
We need the rest to join us. So if we know our friends who are gone, but they don't want to come, please bring them so that we can all together move this association. Because if we are many, everything that we say, they will listen to us. But if we are few, and I think our association is the few which are still in operation in Ghana.
Some of the issues that we've raised has been heard by us, and we will try to do our best to follow some of them up. I think the chairman is ready to compile some of the issues raised, and in my own capacity, I also have private discussions with the DG and the directors of port so that some of them are met.
The GPHA Retired Senior Officers Association is made up of 260 active members covering Tema and Takoradi. They meet monthly and interact through educational lectures, health talks and screenings, keep fit exercises, and religious fellowships, among others. Staff and dependents of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, as well as the wider port community, are being called upon to join the GPHA Fitness Club to improve upon their health. This call was made when the fitness club took to the AstroTurf in Community 2 Tema near the Mexico School for an outdoor night workout in collaboration with affiliate clubs in Tema and Accra. The chief physical training instructor at the GPHA Fitness Club, Warrant Officer Suleimana Mohammed Ayamga, who was speaking exclusively to Iron Port, said, in addition to the opportunity to keep fit 3 days every week, new club members get to be a part of a vibrant social community of like-minded individuals. He said the various sessions and routines adopted by the GPHA Fitness Club cannot be found anywhere in Ghana. Hence, staff of the authority should jump at this opportunity to keep fit.
GPHA is not only in the port. We don't do only the port work, or we don't do only clearing or security work at the port, but we also do fitness, and fitness is the most important to our life. If your men are physically fit, they will be more what? They will not be medically what? Sick. The authority has built the hall for us to what? Exercise. You see, we built a hall for us to exercise, but most of us don't patronize it. We want them to know that when you take this and put onto your TV, they will know that this is what we do at the gym. Look at the activity we do here. You can't find it anywhere in the country. This is the only place you can get it.
Joining him was Samuel Ajete, a retired deputy security manager who urged his colleague retirees and workers at the port to take a cue from this critical lifestyle decision he has made and register at the GPHA Fitness Club.
Now that I'm going to tell them, they know, and up to now they know. I want them to still look at me. That even though I'm gone and the years are going, I'm fitter than even before. I should tell them that, look, it's a good thing and all of us need to watch.
The GPHA Fitness Club holds aerobic sessions at the GPHA Sports Hall near the Junior Staff Clubhouse in Tema Community 2 each Monday and Wednesday evenings at 6 p.m. and Saturday mornings at 6 a.m. Let us now turn our attention to the global stage and pick a few international shipping and maritime related news. Singapore-based shipping company Pacific International Lines and provider of digital solutions WaveBL have entered into a strategic partnership to advance digitalization within the shipping sector. PIL will use WaveBL's electronic bill of lading solution to improve security, efficiency, and sustainability in trade documentation processes. By joining the WaveBL network, PIL wants to reinforce its commitment to driving connectivity and efficiency across its global operations. This partnership marks a significant milestone for the shipping industry as another major ocean carrier embraces the digital era. Italian shipbuilder Fincantieri has signed an agreement with cruise giant Carnival Corporation for the design, engineering, and construction of 3 new cruise ships for the Carnival Cruise Line brand. The order is for a new class of liquefied natural gas-powered vessels, which will be approximately 230,000 gross tons, the largest ships ever built by Fincantieri and an Italian shipyard. With over 3,000 guest cabins, The new vessels will carry almost 8,000 passengers at full capacity. These new ships will also feature advanced energy efficiency, waste management, and emissions reduction technologies to further reduce the company's environmental footprint. They are scheduled for delivery in 2029, 2031, and 2033. Our word of the day for today is tramping. Tramping consists of placing a ship on the charter market in special exchange centers. The transaction is entrusted to a shipbroker who draws up a contract between the ship owner and the charterer, normally a large shipper seeking a vessel for occasional transport or another ship owner. The contract concluded between the two parties is called a charter party. Let us now take a look at the schedule of vessels that have berth in the ports of Tema and Takoradi, at the anchorages of both ports, and those expected in the coming weeks, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rates, which you may need to know to clear your cargo with. This is where we draw the curtain on today's edition of Iron Port. We hope you've been informed and educated. Remember, all Iron Port content can be found on our YouTube channel, Iron Port. Subscribe, like, and share our videos. Thank you for watching.